first firefight that we got into was actually an ambush. About 2 weeks after we crossed into the Iraqi border, we got ambushed by 300 Iraqi Republican Guard off to our left side, and they were on a berm, and they started shooting at us. And we were in these Amtrak vehicles, so they're like amphibious assault vehicles. You can fit about 13 Marines in there. They go on water as well, but actually they're faster on water than they are on land. But we're packed in there like sardines, and all of a sudden you hear like gunfire in the distance, and it's like ting, 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 ting. You hear the rounds hitting the outside of the track, and all of a sudden we're calling like ambush left. And, now we're putting like magazines in our guns because they wouldn't even allow us to put magazines in our M16s.
Really?
Even after we crossed. It was, because again, it's not a combat mindset, even though we're in combat. Even most of the leadership hadn't seen combat because, Gulf War.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like this garrison kind of mindset in the beginning of it where they were like, we better be safe instead of sorry. It's like, no, bro, we just invaded a foreign country and you're not letting us put magazines in our M16s. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Right. But now this ambush happens and I pull my magazine out and I'm trying to insert it into my mag well of my M16, and my hand's shaking so bad that I just I can't, right? Until my buddy grabs my hand and he's like, bro, take a breath, And so next thing I know, the ramps are coming down and then we all get online and we're shooting back and I see, it's just like gunfire and RPGs coming. That's when it turns into like that movie scene. But like my personal experience there was that it was all very like slow motion. It was all, I couldn't hear much. Like everything was muffled sound wise. That's like my best recollection of that first firefight was muffled noises, slow motion. And just, there was times where I just didn't comprehend what was happening. My body was like reacting, like getting up, getting down, but like in my mind, I didn't really comprehend like what's actually happening. It was almost kind of like, you step outside of yourself and you see this thing happen. So that lasted a few hours, and after that, everybody kind of changed. We were all like, "Oh, okay,
yeah,
that's what it feels like," And then some people obviously take it how they take it. They cope with it how they cope with it. But as you have more and more firefights, a lot of that uncontrolled fear that you have, where you just kind of freak out, that becomes manageable. With every firefight that you get into, every time you put yourself in that situation where your life is on the line and people are shooting back at you, you start to learn how to control that fear. And now the fear's still there, but now it's a controlled fear. You're like, yes, I'm scared, but I have bigger things to worry about. Whereas in the beginning, you have bigger things to worry about, but you're just focusing on that fear. It's controlling you. It's dictating how you think and how you move.
You see, like that primal instinct of like self-preservation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like taking over and you kind of try to fight it.
Yeah. And you don't know how you're going to react. And, I'll tell you, like, even after that first firefight, there were Marines that put their guns down on the ground and said, I quit. Like, they're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, bro, we just got here. We still have a ways to go to get to Baghdad. Like, I need you. It's like, no, Sergeant, like, I quit. I'm not doing this. So we had Marines putting their guns down in combat saying, I'm not doing this. I'm not shooting. I'm not killing people. I'm not going to put my life on the line. And we had to deal with that. But then what you see out of the majority of the group is that you see like this mindset shift. Now everyone's like more confident, and that's just how it is. You gain confidence, but you gain the experience and all that, hopefully is a formula for success at the end. But we lost guys in that first firefight. In fact, back then we didn't have up armored Humvees. We had the light skin, right?
Yeah, we are just like canvas on the door.
It's just a vinyl door. And we lost 3 Marines. Well, we lost 2 Marines and a Navy corpsman in that first firefight because there was an RPG that was shot. It went right through their door, and it hit the driver and then it detonated. And then we also lost Marines on the actual assault. So like we saw everything in that one firefight. We saw like people die, we killed people, and we went through that emotional roller coaster, the adrenaline. We felt it all. And after that, it was just like learning how to cope with it and manage it.